Welcome everyone, it's Evelyn from Twin Flames 3344. Take a deep breath, guys. Okay, so today I have a quick union read, and then I have a read for the Divine Masculine Twin Flame, which is right in front of you. And I'm going to pull an oracle card from the energy deck first to start, see where we're going. And I was just listening to Magenta Pixie, which I was really happy I did, because she's talking about lucid dreaming and false dreams. And if she hadn't reminded me, yesterday when I was doing a meditation, I literally woke up but couldn't move my arms. So I got a little fear aroused in me, and I went to yell. And you know how in a dream you can't yell. And I had trouble, but I got out saying, I am powerful. And that woke me up, but I realized that, I couldn't move my arms. And then I did actually come out of it. But I'm so glad that she reminded me of that, because I wouldn't have remembered otherwise. So definitely that topic is coming up, because it came up for me as well. And as I go into this union read, today is June 7th, 2020, and I titled this last night at 1 a.m. when I did this read as Sunday, and then I wrote Bloody Sunday. So there was something about that, and also the movie that I watched last night, which was, and it was a bit of a violent movie. I'm not really into watching that kind of movie, but this was The Last Days of American Crime. And it was interesting because the movie was about transitioning across the Canadian Bridge. So again, getting across the bridge to the safe zone. That was very much the message from the movie. So let me pull a card from the energy deck, see what comes up. Okay. It was interesting too, as I'm doing the union read, the toroidal field came up in the infinity symbol. Because if you've watched my videos for a while now, you know that I equate the infinity symbol is very similar to like the hourglass, which the toroidal field is basically an infinity symbol with the hourglass going through it, which is really just like two infinity symbols together, like a flower, only one is in the triangular shape and one is in the circular shape. But I always talk about the vein in the more circular shape in the valves, in conjunction with the diamond shape with the triangles as the same chain of events or valves in a vein. So let's see from the energy deck here. Take a deep breath, guys. What is the energy for this read today? What is the message for everybody watching? What is it we need to know? What do we need to learn for this June 7th read? All right, we have anxiety. 18 is the moon, so coming off of this full moon eclipse energy in Sagittarius, there's some anxiety. This card's been coming up a lot this week. It doesn't usually come up this much for my reads. So that's important to know. Remember that you're in eclipse season, so the energies from the eclipse are bringing on this energy that is not necessarily you. Then we have the temple path. And this always reminds me of the Thomas Kinkade painting. And I'm getting anxiety about staying on path and what is my path, getting confused as to where you are. And the 12 is the wisdom, right, the hangman, of seeing new perspectives when you're feeling anxiety. To change that perspective just by looking to see how you can look at that thing that you're looking at in a different way, to make it not feel like something negative. And then we have the 14 here of caring connections. And this has to do with your self-awareness and the connection to yourself, your higher self, and how to make yourself happy, okay, by staying on path and seeing a new perspective. And then the 14 is the number of the temperance card of patience and balance, being patient with yourself, right? There's nothing you're doing wrong. Just be patient and love yourself. When you're feeling uncomfortable, focus on the spot in your body that feels uncomfortable and ask it what it needs to feel loved. Or ask your inner child, ask your heart. It's just your body trying to talk to you. And when we get uncomfortable, we naturally think that there's something we're doing wrong. We could be empathing off of somebody else around, or we could be empathing off of the energies that are coming in very strong, or just, some insecurities of our own coming up to clear. So don't assume that you're doing something wrong. It's all okay. The underlying energy here is coming up the fourth chakra Archangel Raphael, which is the heart space, and the green of a green environment, and then the 38 of the Queen of Cups, which is that very loving, nurturing, intuitive energy of being very emotionally available. And when you're feeling anxiety, you're not feeling emotionally available. All right, so getting right into the union read for June 7th, 2020. The 7 is the Chariot, and the day adds up to 17, which is an 8, which is all about great power and strength, inner strength and outer strength. The 8's the number of big sports and big business. It's also the number of manifestation on that higher level of dreams, as opposed to 4, which is manifestation of survival on this planet. So we have the 7 and an 8. And the 7 is the calm before the storm. The Chariot is that ascension energy, the expansion and contraction at the same time, in order to create that storm, the vortex of the eye of the storm. So here we are today, Sunday, Bloody Sunday. And the union read I did was at 1:30 a.m. last night. I was up late, and I've been really sleepy the past couple of days. I slept really late today, and I'm really sleepy again now, even though I didn't get up till late this morning. So it's calling for us to rest. If you're feeling that sleepy, it's time to sleep, because a lot gets done in your sleep state. So the union read here, and this is the union read for 4, 5, and 6D, as opposed to 3, 4, and 5D, because I was guided a week or so ago to up it to 4, 5, and 6D for the twins. So we have, I'm going to show you the picture of the union read, so you have that. So take a snapshot if you want to follow it as I'm reading. The top row is the 6D, the middle row is the 5D, and the bottom 3 in the middle is the 4D. The 3 on the left is the feminine coming in, the 3 on the right is the masculine going out. The top cards are the underlying energy, and then the closing summary energy of the Empress there at the top. Okay? So the underlying energy there was the Knight of Cups. And then the central energy was the King of Pentacles. And in this deck, the SIRIAN STARSEED deck, it's very much about Akashic records with the crystal skull. So there's an offer of love to the King of Pentacles and the Akashics. I was just getting to Sir with love. So a lot of James Bond stuff coming up here. To Sir with love. In the green room, to the Sphinx's paw. And when I wrote paw, I was also getting like Pa, the father. And then I was just getting to Sir with love. And in what's her name? In James Bond, what's the woman they call her? Oh, I'm blanking out. But anyway, there's something along that. If it comes to me, I'll tell you. But anyway, I was getting the Pa with the paw of the Sphinx's paws, the Akashic records, in the green room. So that's the vortex. The green room is the circle within the wave when you're surfing, being in the green room. But it's also the heart, the green room. In the green room to the Sphinx's paw. So from the heart to the extremities, right? Because the paw is the extremity, like the hand. But I was then also getting the Pa of the father. The underlying divine feminine is the divine feminine's heart in the E tower. And flower power was coming up. The divine masculine preparing magic carpet ride for the Knight of Wands, tempering their flame in the color yellow as opposed to orange and red for a slow burn. So staying in the solar plexus energies as opposed to the lower energies of the sacral and the base chakra. So in truth and balance, justice blind was coming up here. So again, the yellow flame was coming up as the slow burn, right? So you want it to slow burn so it will last longer. In the 4D, we had transition, the King of Wands and the 6 of Wands. The divine feminine transitions across the bridge to another land. And this came up in the movie last night, transitioning from US to Canada. So the transition across the bridge to another land, the divine masculine with a firm grip on the big flame, leading the way and bridging the two by the King of Wands shaman as the sun rises over the horizon. That was the 4D. And then the numbers that went across the bottom line in the read were 7661, which 66 is the Queen of Pentacles. So I was getting the Chariot, the Queen of Pentacles, and then the Magician. And those numbers added up equal number 20, which is Judgment. So the Chariot came for the Queen of Pentacles and the Magician, which equals Judgment Day or Karma. And then I was getting Guardians of the Temple, the King of Wands and the King of Pentacles, Brain, Indian Summer, Hot and Insane. So 5D was coming up here as the Five of Pentacles, the King of Pentacles, and the Queen of Wands, the Divine Feminine in the Mary Magdalene cave, alone at night in the 5D dark, with crystal light. The Divine Masculine is the Queen of Wands, fire starter, polarizing to bridge and neutralize the polarity in Akashic records, or the history lesson of karma, and evening the score or the playing field. The mob boss's son legacy, which came up in the movie last night, and the brother's revenge. But the girl's motivation was to save her little sister and then wins the game, because it's all about intention. I'll get clarified that too. And the killing fields were coming up there too. So again, I'm going to say that again. The Divine Feminine was in the Mary Magdalene cave, alone at night in the 5D dark, which is okay because it's the 5D. It's not 3D dark, it's different, with crystal light. There's always light in some capacity. The Divine Masculine with the Queen of Wands fire starter, so talking about the flame, the Feminine was keeping that flame in the yellow, right, a slow burn, but the Queen of Wands has a lot of red and orange flame, right, the fire starter who's polarizing. And then to bridge the two of them, the Mary Magdalene cave, which is very cold and dark, and here's this fire starter on the masculine side, to bridge the two is to neutralize the polarities in Akashic records, in the history lesson, the karma, in order to even the score, the playing field, or the killing fields, which we've all experienced in our DNA or in past lives, depending on what you believe. The mob boss's son legacy and the brother's revenge, which all came up from the movie last night, but the girl's motivation was to save her little sister, and then she wins the game. So the 6D here is the Moon, the Chariot, and the Sovereign, which is 9 of Pentacles. Out of scope, or out of range, the Divine Feminine eclipse of Sagittarius, like the new moon, is dark and subconscious. Over the hump, the tide rolling in after the full moon's disguise, still full moon waning, the Divine Masculine Sovereign, and wise and pure in 6D with crystal treasure and a boatload of diamonds in the rough, finding the true treasure, the part that's tough, getting past all the stuff. Bridging the two in the 6D by the Chariot, ascending with Durga times 5, expanding in all directions, Vashti in the Chariot, and Vashti is actually someone I know who passed away, but Vashti in the Chariot calling me to carry them home. The Divine Feminine in the 4D transition bridge to the 5D Mary Magdalene cave by the light of the 6D moon, the subconscious mind, the dark side of the moon, a living record, a Akashic record. So then they were calling me to break down Akashics, and Akashics literally is, AKA, she consciousness, AKA subconscious, and then the high, HI, and the H is like a DNA with 3 lines across for the H. It's like a DNA ladder. AKA the S for subconscious, the HI for high, the DNA, and the lowercase I for me is the chakra system, and then the C for the consciousness. So the subconscious and the consciousness, the DNA and the chakra system. The subconscious DNA and the conscious chakra system, AKA she consciousness, she Christ, the unity consciousness. The Divine Masculine side is the 4D leading 5, expansion to love, or 6. And the Queen of Wands in 5D transports 1 big and 2 littles, leaving 3 wise men as one unit, one sovereign, the UN, United Nations. 6D, the United Nations. The bridge between them there is the King of Wands 4D shaman, the 3D gatekeeper closing the gate behind him, with 5D bride of Frankenstein, master of crystal skulls and stiff upper lip and X-ray vision, skeletal alignment, and 6D chariot at the 5D gate. Infinity and beyond. And then that's where the infinity symbol came up. But I was being guided to write the infinity and beyond is the infinity on the side with the arrow above it pointing up, which then led it to, it looked like a bow tie being hung up, but getting past the valve and then into the next triangle or the next infinity. So I was getting the two triangles together, which it doesn't matter which way you put them together, because one way you put them together makes the diamond, and the other way makes the hourglass, which is all part of the toroidal field, with the infinity going the horizontal way, which then if you draw the 0 and 0 next to each other and then triangle on top of the other triangle making the hourglass, it literally looks like someone's two eyes, their nose and their third eye above. So I was getting the owl graduate, that it's not too late. So to get past the valve, right, and just like in the veins, the valve is the part that gives you the extra push to go the extra mile. It's not too late. So the toroidal field was definitely coming up as a big deal here with infinity and beyond, the owl graduate, the eyes, nose, and third eye, and then the AKA Akashics, AKA also is chic. Akashics, and it's actually the she energy of the feminine. And the vow is coming up as important here because I have two names came up. One was my friend Vashti, who passed away, and my other one was my sister-in-law, who's Vani. So the VA was coming up as the VO plus connection, and then I was getting va-va-voom. So those are definitely coming up. So maybe the Akashic records of, in a positive sense, are now coming up for the twins here, is what I'm getting here. And of course, with the energies of the star and the chariot, which are naturally very positive to begin with. So the outgoing masculine from the divine feminine side, the divine masculine side at 228 last night, 2 being the high priestess and 28 being the 2 of wands and also the twin flames. And 28 came up significantly in the divine masculine twin flame read this afternoon as well. So the divine masculine here was the 6 of cups, the ace of wands, and the queen of pentacles. The inner twins of those 6 of cups and 1 giant flame, and the queen of pentacles with a stiff upper lip, 2 queens, a sovereign, and the mother lode in the end. The summary here is abundance, the empress with open arms. And the song Open Arms was coming up as well. The Knight of Cups to the King of Pentacles in the center, the Akashic Records, and then the summary card of the abundance and the Empress, which is transmutation, to be love, lose the hair, and then I'm getting harem, like a harem, be love, lose the harem, and open arms to transmutation, in the end, abundance. And abundance comes up as the BUN dance for me, which is the actual physical transmutation of the body, because the BUN is a marker for the kidneys and such, which are natural transmuters of the body. So then another aspect I do is from one side to the other, from the feminine to the masculine, is the 7 of Pentacles to the 6 of Cups, the Knight of Wands to the Ace of Wands, and Justice to the Queen of Pentacles. So the divine feminine's heart in the E Tower, or Rapunzel, and that's Rapunzel breaks down to Rap, UN, so here's the UN coming up again, and then Oz, and then ill. So it's saying to rap about the UN and how Oz, which is our world, is ill. Sneaks boyfriend into her room. The Knight of Wands turned on, and justice, truth, and balance of the Queen of Pentacles levels up to Empress status with an open heart and receiving a proposal. So that was very interesting the way that came up. So the gridlock I was just getting for this union read added up to 34 altogether from both sides, and 34 is the 8 of Wands, which is expressing the feelings, energetic exchange, the arrows of love, a lot of energy going back and forth, whether it's communications or travel. It's just very much energy related. The horizontal lines added up to 9, 5, and 20, which are Hermit, Hierophant, and Judgment, which also can be Virgo, Taurus, and a decision made with the Judgment card. And then the vertical lines added up to 7, 5, 15, and 61, which are Chariot, Hierophant, Devil, and 7 of Swords. So driving the Hierophant to the Devil's work or risky behavior, and that has to do with the energetic exchange of that 34, the 8 of Wands. It also can come up in a slightly different way with the numbers, being the 7 of Pentacles or of the Divine Feminine's heart, and the Devil Lovers. And you know the Devil card and the Lovers card are the same, except one is the dark and one is the light. And then the Magician, making magic together. On fire for lover, magician, and energetic exchange. The Empress and 34 is 3 and 4 of the Empress and the Emperor, equaling the 7 or the Chariot in an energetic exchange, which is again the 34's meaning. The vehicle of expression. So then I noted there's a lot of court cards or characters in this union read, which a lot of times there's not. It's mostly more theme cards. But the Knight of Cups was coming up here as the Knight of Wands as well, on the Divine Feminine side, and the Queen of Wands and the Queen of Pentacles on the masculine side. The King of Wands and the King of Pentacles on the bridge, and I was getting Captain Kirk and Spock, and the Knights manipulating the Divine Feminine's heart, where the Queens are manipulating the Divine Masculine's passions. The journey of the dance of the Hermit needing to form crystals, and the P of the Sovereign, who needs to form within, and the Empress, Mother of Abundance, nurturing their inner children, the 2 kids. So there were 11 beings in all in the union, 1 Divine Feminine heart, blind justice, transformation. As the tide goes out and ascending up, the flame on high may burn out too quickly. And the Knight of Cups was coming up as a loose cannon, so beware of that. And it was like there were 2 sets of families here, because we had the King of Wands, the Queen of Wands, and the Knight of Wands in the energy in the union read. We also had the King of Pentacles, the Queen of Pentacles, and the Sovereign, which is another Pentacle child type energy. So it was like 2 paired, the King and Queen of Wands with the Knight of Wands child, and then the King and Queen of Pentacles with the Sovereign older child. And then the Knight of Cups was the only Cups one, who was a loose cannon, and the Hermit's there, which could be the father of the Wands family, like father to father. And then I was getting the Empress as the Pentacles family, mother to mother. So it's very interesting the way that came up. All right, let's see what else here. All right. There were also some numbers. I had, right after I finished the union read, I just pulled some cards for the Divine Masculine really quick. And the numbers came up, 2 Pentacles, 2 of Cups, and the Hierophant with the 7 of Wands, which is 2, 2, and 7. And then the opposite of 227 is 722, which literally is the date 07220. So that date may be significant for somebody. Also, in that quick read that I was doing, some energies of gigolo were coming up. So again, this is just for wounds, for any clearing that needs to come up, whether it's for this life or another life. Like the pool boy, the gardener, the constant gardener. Well, there may be a reason why they're a constant gardener, because somebody might be selling out their services or having an affair at home while somebody else is working all the time. And that was coming up at 3:33 last night. So just a quick message from that. And yeah, I mean, I didn't go to sleep till like 3 or 4 o'clock last night. So I didn't wake up till noon, which I usually can't sleep that late no matter what time I go to bed. But I did, because I didn't, the other night I didn't sleep at all. So I was probably really tired. But I woke up at 12:21 to 22, but my clock was off from the real time, which I didn't realize, because the electricity had gone out for a few minutes the other day when we had that weird rainstorm come in. So when I looked at the clock, it was 12:21 to 12:22, which then when I looked at the real clock on my iPad, it was 12:44 to 45, which was interesting because it was 12:21 and 22, which was significant numbers, and then the 45 or the 44 to 45 is the time of my birth. So it was kind of cool the way the time came up this morning. I'm getting really sweaty right now. So there must be a lot of masculine energy coming in. So for the Divine Masculine Twin Flame read that's in front of you now, I actually want to pull another energy card to divide the reads. It's 25-20 now. 25-25 here. So one more energy card to see how the energies have changed going into this Divine Masculine read. And this one was done today. I cut the SIRIAN Starseed deck, which is the main deck for this 7-deck read, at 141, which is the Magician, and the 41 is the Ace of Cups. Self-love, spiritual love, new love. And let's see what comes up from the energy deck now. Take another deep breath. All right, we have patience, that you have all the time in the world. The Statue of Liberty always comes up for me in this card. But they don't look, they're not all smiley and happy. It's just like playing the waiting game with the 16, the clock tower, and when the clock strikes midnight. But the clock on this card is about, it's not 10:10, it's like 10:11, 10:11:12. You can't skip steps. You have to go one number at a time. So just take your time. You have time. 16, the clock tower. I'm getting Frankenstein again for some reason. And then the Ben Franklin, I guess, is going to come up with that. And then the next card coming up was action with the 2 stallions running, right? The opposites, the black and the white, the 2 sides of the same coin, running as one. The 17, the stars, taking action together. All right, so we have these 2 cards like that, 16 and 17. So going in sequence is a big theme right here, because I just said 10, 11, 12, and now the cards are coming up as 16 and 17. You have to take the steps in the right order to get there. So just take your time. You can't skip the steps to get there. And then you have community here, which is coming together with others. 7 is the chariot, the vehicle of ascension. And the underlying energy is the 7th chakra Archangel Uriel, which is that like graduation day. And the crown chakra, 41, is that crowning achievement of love. Self-love, spiritual love, and new love. And there's a lot of compassion of pink in that card, the high heart. So have compassion for yourself. In your crowning achievements, focus on how far you've come in your achievements. And that's the underlying energy. And then these 3 cards came out together for the read. Okay. And there's very similar energies in here. It's like this card fading away. You see how that works? Over time, this crowning achievement fades away. So it's saying don't worry about the outcome, right? It's that really the journey that is in focus here. And it's making me want to cry. It's a very high energy right there. So, the journey is what you need to focus on. That's where all the color is. Even when the color is just black and white, you just still see how rich the colors are as compared to how it's faded over time. All right, and coming together with all the colors of the rainbow, which are of the beings and your individuality, how each one of you is glorious in your own essence, but every one is different, and that's the chariot, the vehicle of ascension, the community, the connections with others. All right, so going into this Divine Masculine read, the underlying energy, let's see, at 141, the SIRIAN Starseed deck was cut and dealt. And at 1:59 to 2 o'clock, actually, 2 o'clock on the hour, which then the 59 is the 11th hour, and then the 2 o'clock is the 2 of the High Priestess with a lot of source energy, very powerful, backing it up, which is funny. Now it's bringing up the fact that when I couldn't wake up, I was paralyzed, my arms couldn't move, I screamed, I am powerful. So that's coming up with this 00. A lot of source energy backing up the High Priestess, which has to do with your intuitive and psychic abilities. And then the major arcana we had here were Shadow, which is like the devil, Tower, Luna, which is the moon, Solar Deity, which is the sun, so we had the sun and the moon in the read. And then after the read was the Star and the Wheel, the Great Wheel of Fortune. We had 3 cups, 2 pentacles, and 2 swords. There were no wands in this read. Then the court cards were Knight of Cups, the King of Swords, and before the read we had the Knight of Wands and the Page of Swords. And then after the read we had the Queen of Wands and the King of Cups. So in each place, the read, before the read and after the read, we had 2 court cards in each area. But the main ones in the read were the Knight of Cups and the King of Swords. And just like that Knight of Cups was coming up as suspicious, this Knight of Cups is also reversed. And so that's a main energy for the read, as well as the King of Swords, who is upright in his truth. We have, as far as the numbers, 88 were most significant, which is the 2 twins, the masculine and feminine, both balanced in their masculine and feminine within, dancing side by side, which then becomes the infinity on its side. The other numbers that came up that were significant are 322, which is the 3 of the Empress and Gaia, and the 22 of the Fool, the 88, the 12 of the Hangman, the 25 of the Knight of Wands, the 58 of the 4 of Swords, 24 of the Queen of Wands, 45 of the 5 of Cups, and 89, which for me is the reflection of the human temperature of 98, being that it's too hot or too cold, as opposed to right where it should be, just right. So we have the message here on the code line was all about completion and environment. And again, the green environment was coming up, which 44 comes up for that card, which is that mastering of grounding and integrating. You know, boredom is a time to just look around at your environment and see what needs to be healed. And then completion, which is number 9, came up. So 9 and 4, that's where it's getting the 9 and 4. The message here on the code line was about false AI, and 5G was coming up. And then Sophiamus, as opposed to Christmas. Sophiamus, it's like Christmas in July, right? The other side of the coin, because December 25th is Christmas. So June 25th was coming up as Sophiamus. The stone gifts. The 88 of crystals, or the dance of the crystals. And remember that your bodies are becoming crystalline as opposed to carbon-based, right? So we have the E of the feminine energy, energizing the new moon, completion, and green environment. So some of the headers that came up were a lot of stuff about crystals, and one of them was the dangers of the 5D. So that was confirming the 5D stuff that was coming in up in the code line. And the best crystal for EMF protection, which from cosmiccuts.com came up as pyrite, but don't keep it next to your computer because it can mess with your hard drive, the pyrite. And then shungite, which I'm not real familiar with that one, but snowflake obsidian came up, and tourmaline quartz and bloodstone as really good stones for blocking 5G. And then another header came up, AI Yori Oashi, which is interesting because the SHI came up from like Akashics. AI space Yori, Y-O-R-I, and then A-O-S-H-I was the name, and that was from ianwikipedia.org, and that literally translates to bluer than indigo, which was a Japanese manga series. Another header was Magic 8 regarding the 8-ball game, and that was from Lego Menon. It's like legomenon.com. And then MAS came up as a header, which is the Monetary Authority of Singapore, from mas.gov. And the last one that came up was Pablo-E, AI, and then BE, which is the name of the song, the official lyrics. I don't know if it was Spanish or something else, but it was another language. And the date was coming up 6/13/18. There was another header that came up with the date 11/18/18 too, so a couple in 18. And then I was getting connect at 2:20 and 2:23. So I start this, and this read starts with that Knight of Cups over here in the underlying energy, so this big card. And below that card is the 4 of Cups upright, the Knight of Wands upright, the Page of Swords upright, and the 9 of Swords reversed. So I want to preface this by saying that the Knight of Wands upright and the Page of Swords upright are side by side in this underlying energy below this card, but they're also side by side right here, next to the heart. That's the Knight of Wands, and then the Page of Swords. So I'm sorry, it's not right next to the heart. It's the next card down. So this is the Page of Swords, and then that's the Knight of Wands. So they're side by side, just like they are, this underlying energy. So that pairing is very significant here. So there's jealousy here, insincerity, fear of rejection and unworthiness. After grounding and integrating, boredom, apathy, and the Knight of Wands rushing in, or just busy doing stuff, being physically busy. And the Page of Swords message, news, or a child spreading the word of chronic suffering and silence. Somebody's sister may also come into focus there. The Devil's reversed, detoxing chaos, and the King of Cups and Page of Pentacles and Sovereign may all be hanging out together. And that can easily be a father and two kids, or an uncle with two kids, or a grandfather with two kids. Looking back, not expressing feelings, and heated exchanges, and ignoring offers of love from God, Source, and the Queen of Pentacles, grounding and grounded. Detoxing the past, the King of Cups allowing negative energies to float right on by, or negative exchange from the past is over his head. Actually, an offer of love ignored, being a student of opportunity and money and sovereignty, or sovereign, much like their mother. Or jealous that the Queen of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles, and Sovereign, which is the Nine of Pentacles, are all like each other, feeling left out of the exchange or put aside, ignored. Or it's like the mother saying, kids, he just doesn't get it, especially if it's like a mother and two daughters, or it can be vice versa as well as far as sons. But it's just like the one feeling left out and always being told, they don't get it, so don't worry about it. But then that father feeling left out. So the King of Pentacles reversed, feeling imprisoned by their own Scrooge mentality, with the Queen of Swords upright, talking about feeling like a failure, or lack of or need for attention-seeking behavior, and doing things under the radar or under the table, coming together, small parties, celebration, or perhaps a coven even, socializing and on guard with the enemy, virus destined, or Sphinx schooling the goose. Invasion of Normandy seems like it went on forever, so much death for no reason. A fruitless win, a disease state, coming together despite bodyguards and defensive ends, viruses that kill, some of them men. Threats to those flapping their wings, those under pressure by police state, scared and singing, or in other words, like someone flapping their lips and telling on someone else, so scared and singing. While others read their books, quietly minding their own business, discussing what they've read together, some reading about history, and others making history at 307. So there's a spin of the die, or a toss of the wheel, mixing it up a bit to color our world with thoughts of loving you. Chariot out being seen, boldly about to ascend to divine lover's dream. Lovers with their secret out, suffering in silence, or sister, due to doubts, which is fear. The hook in the train, or sewing a dress, all in perspective of sexual energy shared. The uvula and the vulva, the keys that need to be shared, the key, portals, the hole, and something that fits in it perfectly, each different so no one else can get in. A sacred fit of sharing and pairing, the fit test, the glass slipper, the first dance and the last. Capricorn reversed, Libra upright, Cancer upright, and Gemini upright, as well as Pisces reversed, all came up here. Lovers ascending with the secret out, and Pisces or Viking princess suffering in silence, as there is unrequited love, and beneath that worth waiting for. As we have defenselessness to feminine wiles, an unstable home, move or end of marriage, coming clean or getting clean, bridging the distance gap of the past, not getting along behind closed doors of the happy family of keeping up appearances. Tossing the old tulips or tulips and memories of lovebirds and dessert in the park, airing dirty laundry, hanging smelly socks on the tree branch, and now sending the errand boy out for supplies, and he happy to get out for a while from the fancy fruit and the ankle and neck chains. Fall is over, as well as the lies in bed. After all, what's love got to do with it, with 3D sex? So the numbers in the cluster of cards there came up as 764, which is 76/4, which is the 8 of Pentacles, working to align. And then 10 and 7 came up with the family emotional secrets and wrongdoings. Leadership came up, which is 81, the end of karma. 8 and 1 is the Ha energy I always talk about. And beneath that was creativity of the 3, the Empress and Gaia, and abundance. The end of karma of the Hermit reversed, going crazy over isolation, and time to come out about creativity and lead the way. The Queen of Wands is reversed, sick, tired, or angry of the sovereign with everything, and uncomfortable emotions, energies of the wounded warrior victim mentality, Taurus or Hierophant reversed, a break in contract or just being alternative or spiritual, divorced, not committing outside of themselves, sharing, charitable and settling out, dissatisfied without wish, or drinking too much, spending a lot on silk curtains that are always opened or not ever used, or not happy with them after spending a lot of money on them, as buying everyone drinks at the bar, throwing perfectly good money out the window, and that was at 333. The Queen of Wands reversed or Taurus reversed, unhappy with sovereign giving as they please to those who are wounded, dissatisfied, and then I can't get no satisfaction coming up again, not getting their wish and feeling jealous or green with envy as the wheels turnin', proud Mary keep on burnin', rolling on the riverboat queen. Okay, and then so 333 and 334 both came up there. The 369 and then the Empress and the 34 of that exchange of energy, expressing feelings and arrows of love. And then 339 came up, which is the Empress and the Knight of Cups, who's reversed in this read. So there's definitely jealousy and envy coming up here as a wound, making a scene, unhappy and jealous, and spinning it, suffering in silence. Thumbelina came up here, and the sister could be here as well. So Thumbelina was coming up in 2 different ways. An adventurous girl, a young blind hermit, and goofy 2-headed dragon race to find the lost sword Excalibur to save King Arthur and Camelot from disaster, and that was the 94 movie. Another Thumbelina is the barley corn sprouts. The barley corn sprouts a tiny girl who's kidnapped by a toad who wants her to marry his son. But she escapes with the help of a friendly fish and butterfly, and then she drifts in her life on a little lily pad until captured by a stag beetle who discards her when his friends reject her company. So again, this is that relationship where the guy's friends don't like their girlfriend. So getting through the winter, given shelter by an old field mouse, and she then tends her dwelling in gratitude, the mouse pushing her to marry the mole, but he never leaves the house, so she finds him repulsive. She escapes by fleeing to a far land. And this is all from enwikipedia.org. With a swallow, she met a swallow that she nursed back to health during the winter season. And in the sunny field of flowers, she meets a tiny flower fairy prince, just her size and liking, and they wed. She receives wings to accompany her husband on his travels from flower to flower, and a new name, Maya, just like Gaia, only with an M for Mary. And in the end, the swallow is heartbroken and flies off, arriving at a small house, and tells their story to a man who is implied to be Hans Christian Andersen himself. So that was also the Disney 1959 Sleeping Beauty movie when she pricks her finger on a spindle, because that was coming up, and sleeps until the prince finds her and then is awakened. And then another recounting of it is where the king finds her in a castle, leaves her there where she later gives birth to twins. So after spinning it, the family doesn't like her creating further stories and isolation. So one of the Sleeping Beauties was that she slept 100 years. So then basically the good witch or the good fairy, whoever it is, makes everybody else sleep for 100 years. So when she wakes up, she won't be alone. She'll still have all her friends with her. So in the recent past here for this read at 401, which is the Empress, the Emperor, and the Magician. In the recent past is the Ace of Pentacles reversed, withholding, happy with self under the radar, inspired by the Divine Feminine's heart, reaping rewards, the wounded warrior recovering at the full moon eclipse. The wounded warrior in a bold move to the King of Swords, who's holding back their feelings and energetic exchange, and heated exchange as well under the radar. A lot of Cancer energy there. The foundation here is the King of Swords upright, stuck, stubborn, or just not moving or working, cause perhaps it's Sunday today, and purposely lazy. Justice, divorce, or Libra destined to jealousy or insincerity and moving to calmer waters. Or the King of Swords is destined with the Knight of Pentacles reversed and the Knight of Cups reversed. That can be two difficult kids or two unhappy kids or co-workers moving to calmer waters in a divorce situation, or there's two Libra energies here. The central energy is the Two of Swords upright. Ignorance is bliss. Imprisoned anxiety holding their tongue about healing with rest, prayer, and 5D meditation connection, stepping up to the plate and taking a swing, spreading the word and getting a move on, keeping energy pure and to themselves to keep peace of mind, or resting while the Page of Swords and the Knight of Wands, perhaps kids out and about, and blissfully unaware of his 5D connection at 410, which is the Emperor and the 10 of the Wheel of Fortune. So blissfully unaware of the 5D connection or of the Queen of Pentacles upright. The challenge being the Eight of Pentacles reversed. Overwork or not working, or whatever's not working for you, finding satisfaction in the message, news, spreading the word, or an air sign child with small talk and coming clean about some sneaky business they've been engaged in, or sneaking out of the house at night, and the Page of Cups child or message of love, or puppy love with issues at work, school, church, etc., not getting along or losing money or third-party situation, and the kids are talking about it. Getting over grief and dumping a load, confession, holding back time, money, and energy, and or a new life, impatient fallen angel. The King of Cups upright losing flirtation battle, no more flirting and teasing with the Sagittarius reversed or fallen angel in disconnect and breakup of a partnership, exposing all, or with Leo upright and Sagittarius reversed, sunshine or King of Cups relationship with the Page of Cups, so that could be father and child, and the King of Cups Leo holding back from the Page of Cups Sagittarius reversed, or puppy love through work, school, or place of co-creation. Suffering in silence, weak, Leo out of control with dysfunctional family, or making a big purchase and needing courage to do it. The Hermit reverse coming out about magician cooking something up, and the Emperor's upright with epiphany about guilt by association, where ignorance is bliss, pretending not to know, the great pretender. Now is the Five of Cups reversed, getting over it. Sunshine, kids, and full exposure of the King of Swords upright in his truth. The Four of Swords in rest, prayer, and 5D meditation and connection with the King of Swords dark night, death, end, and transformation, and unhappiness with self. Disconnected and hanging out to see new perspectives, or hung out to dry in self-sabotage, and getting over it. The King of Cups ends the fighting, conflict, competition, or quest, and the Ace of Wands new passion and growth and burning questionable part or past of war and truth without love, on guard, defensive, and lacking faith, falling for the Emperor's tricks, and the Queen of Swords talking about it, and the depression of the Queen of, or the King of Wands reversed, which could be a Sagittarius, who could be sundowning. And that could just be anything regarding the sun, like someone might have gotten too much sun or got burned, but definitely somebody could be sundowning, which has to do with Alzheimer's or dementia. And then somebody could be feeling weak or ill, but this is all coming up around the King of Wands reversed, who could be a Sagittarius. Or somebody out of control with Leo or ego, and jealousy. Scorpio upright, Capricorn upright, Leo upright, Sag reversed, Aries upright, and one Aries reversed, Leo reversed. So there's one Leo upright, one reversed, and then Aquarius reversed, all here. A new passion for magic or tools, or Gemini or Virgo or Aries, protecting oneself from making a fool of self in front of the Emperor, magician, or Emperor in front of the Queen of Swords, magician, or Aries, Emperor, and Leo, Aquarius, Queen of Swords, and jealousy of the King of Wands reversed, Sagittarius reversed, and the Six of Swords, or finding peace, or peaceful travels, now that the worst is over, for the King of Pentacles reversed, needing the courage with the Ten of Pentacles reversed, family, business, community, or legacy. No longer spying on lovers with flame in mind, the magician with the tools tripping up, removing the mask, and the magician exposing the trick to break patterns of choking, swallowing their pride, coming out or having been silenced by the Emperor with no conscience, ignoring or ignorantly blissful, keeping energy clean of any illegal or immoral wrongdoing at 436, which is the Emperor and the Ten of Wands, the weight of the world upon your shoulders. At 437 is the Emperor and the King of Cups, unconditional love. But energy doesn't lie, so if you're involved with illegal or immoral things and you're pretending you're not, the energy doesn't lie, so it still comes out of you and it still pulls in that energy to your sphere. So no more pretending, exposing all is the ending. Soon the shadow reversed, instability and coming clean, getting clean at night at the eclipses with the Queen of Wands reversed, the Taurus reversed, or divorce or breaking contract, a break from societal norms, or just being more spiritual, or Taurus moon and coming together with happy family and emotional fulfillment. The Page of Cups and Knight of Pentacles reversed, lazy Taurus and or Virgo resisting, and the Page of Cups upright, innocence, puppy love, or a Pisces child, and Capricorn reversed, Cancer upright, Taurus reversed here. Detoxing and stability by a move, visit, or ending a marriage. The masculine sees himself as the Tower upright, or in other words, the trigger handle. The synchronicities, options, and radiating the one, indebted to the Empress, offering love in the never-ending story of the King of Wands reversed, sick, tired, or defenseless to the energies and attacks, or feeling like they're being ganged up on by negative groups or bad influences. Honeymoon comes up, and very soon, which can just be taking breaks. It doesn't have to be a honeymoon per se. And then another two came up of true love. This is a romance of a lifetime, and wedding, that the situation involves marriage. Scorpio upright and Scorpio reversed and Taurus upright here. And also the number 28 came up, which is the Two of Wands or the twin flames. Around the masculine, or how he's seen, is the Eight of Cups reversed. Uncomfortable energies or emotions without option but to receive the Ace of Wands, new passion, or the third energy. The Queen of Cups offering the whole truth to end the conflict of the third energy arousal and growth. And the masculine block he needs to work on has to do with the moon, the full moon eclipse, a negative past or childhood or current kids, or the past returning regarding finding spirituality, joy, and emotional fulfillment by transmuting what's not working and what feels uncomfortable. So environment comes up, and virus is significant there, and completion, but even more so here for the masculine, importantly, was music. The Page of Swords leaning on the truth of the message, the news, the speaking to the butt, but not to the face, not putting it out there, not putting their butt on a line, only under the radar, feeling a failure, seeking attention, but not but attention, exposing all, high energy, a big purchase for magic tower, or dysfunction in family, business, or community, or them giving money to a magician, could be a Gemini or Virgo, with epiphanies or Scorpio magic. Leo reversed, Virgo reversed, and Aries upright here, but also Leo upright, Gemini and Virgo upright, as well as Scorpio upright here. Exposing all, being muzzled by the Emperor, and losing hope or needing to heal, or Aquarius Leo world upside down, or Pisces reversed and Aquarius reversed, destined with the Queen of Wands reversed and King of Cups upright, holding on, grounding, and saving. Leo upright, Aquarius reversed, Libra upright, Queen of Wands reversed, and King of Cups upright. The Knight of Cups reversed, again that number 28 comes up, jealousy of the King of Swords tower and sudden events, epiphanies and or orgasm and uncomfortable energies, holding back, knowing but pretending not to, challenged by what's not working, detoxing chaos at the full moon eclipse, getting over loss and regret, and exposing all of depression and destiny of the Queen of Wands reversed, sick, tired, or having a bad temper, and the King of Cups being loving and holding on at 505, which is the Hierophant and the Hierophant, or just change and expansion. The Four of Cups, bored of grounding and integrating. The Knight of Wands, rushing in passionately and being busy. The Page of Swords, news or message of suffering and silence, or sister. Or the Knight of Wands and Page of Swords, kids or co-workers, jealous and sincere, withholding time, money, and energy, and dissatisfied. And the King of Swords, knowing this and keeping energy pure for peace of mind. Getting over loss, regret, and letting go of the past. And this is all at 508. And the sun just brightened when it turned 508 there, which is the Hierophant and Strength. And then challenged by overwork, not working to distract the mind from the tower, the drama, the epiphany, the orgasm, the detoxing, the chaos, and exposing all uncomfortable energies at the full moon eclipse or at night with sunshine, kids, Leo, energy, and the ego, and the loss of hope in destiny with the Queen of Wands reversed and the King of Cups upright, holding on to what they've got. So there were some extra cards from the Golden Universal Tarot that came out after the cards that I put out on the table, which were the Seven of Cups upright, the Two of Cups reversed, Justice upright, and the Queen of Wands reversed, the Knight of Swords reversed, and the Page of Pentacles reversed. Synchronicities, options, heaven in their eyes, disconnect from justice with Libra, Queen of Wands reversed, holding back an announcement, and recovering from exile, destitution, injury, and illnesses. So that was just a little extra information. So that was the read. I'm going to pull one more time from the energy deck. Let's see what comes up now. Take another deep breath for everybody watching, for the best and highest good of all those concerned. What do we need to know? What do we need to learn? Let's clear all dark, negative, and viral energies across all dimensions of time, space, matter, and realities for the highest good of all those concerned. And fill that empty space with only beautiful divine love and diamond crystalline light. And so it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, so one last word of advice. What is that? We have adjacent possibilities. So that window's been thrown out the window. So sometimes we need to go side to side, which for me is like masculine to feminine as opposed to 3D, 5D, okay? So adjacent possibilities. And that's number 24 of the Queen of Wands. And then we have 36, which is the 10 of Wands of the Atlas, weight of the world upon your shoulders energy. And that even looks like a world that she's holding on to. The second chakra, Archangel Ariel, which has to do with your sexual and creative energies. So use your, there are other possibilities, adjacent possibilities that you can choose if whatever you're doing right now isn't working for you. Be creative. And then door to spirit will come in to help you. So there's that purifying energy coming in to help you keep your energy pure. The underlying energy here is the healer of the ages. All right, so it's all about, you can't just heal others, you have to heal yourself as well. And we're all guilty of that, okay? Healer of the ages, 51 is the King of Swords, and that very much can be the masculine's energy. The healer of the ages. We also have a woman backing her up with coin. The woman holding a coin is 42, the Two of Cups. Some kind of partnership there. And that could be a mother or a partner, literally. And then underneath that, we have gratitude and appreciation, okay? Those are the underlying energies here. And that could be this could be like a mother and the daughter that are connected with the healer or the divine masculine here. But these are the cards that came out for you guys, okay? So there's a lot of purifying energy there. And to use, as opposed to the red and orange, it's more yellow. Use the yellow fire for it to be a slow burn and find more creative ways you can do something else if what you're doing right now isn't working for you. And keep it pure, Allow the energy from Spirit to come in and help you. So 32 is the journey. That's the Six of Wands. Good news coming in, success and leading the way. Okay, there's a lot of white energy of purification. And then again, keeping it yellow as opposed to red and orange, really hot. Keeping it more slow and sustaining, a slow burn. Okay, I hope that was helpful. Make sure you rise and be loved, guys. I'll see you later.